Hey boss. Yeah, what is it? I'm killing myself back there moving all the crates, especially with all the narrow passages. I was wondering if maybe it was time for some automation? Automation? You know, like a robot or something. Oh, you mean like a robot that would do all this work and then maybe at the very end of doing the work, it would go over this little save sticker on the floor and then it would like download the solution for that room and have that for future reference? Exactly, that would be so good! Yeah, and we could call him ForceBot. You know what? I like that name. Yeah, not happening. Get back to work. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala, I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at a game that I actually don't have the physical version of, but it is available for download on itch.io. It's ForceBot for the NES, produced by eRockBrox. There was a physical release of this in 2022, funded via Kickstarter, and it included a box, manual, and a new injection molded cartridge. If you're interested in getting a physical copy though, it can be done. Contact eRockBrox via Twitter. Alright, what is ForceBot? Well, that is what we're here to find out. Let's take a look. Starting up your console, we get a nice title screen with energetic music. Here, we're prompted with one simple command: press start. Doing so, we get to choose which difficulty we want to play. The difficulty levels here are in fact 3 different sets of levels for you to conquer. So whether you're a novice or a pro, if this is your first time playing, start with the beginner. The beginner set of levels starts as a bit of a tutorial, with super simple screens in order to teach you the mechanics of the game. The goal of each puzzle is simple: get your little robot to the disc icon. Of course, it wouldn't be much of a game if it was just a matter of walking over and finishing the level. This is a game in the same vein as Sokoban, where you have to move boxes to specific spaces in order to activate the exit. You can push boxes, but you can't pull them. So you'll have to be very careful not to push a box that you need into a spot where you can't move it anymore. Generally, this means stay away from walls and especially corners. Levels have 2 main types. The first is to simply move boxes and make it to the exit. In these levels, you don't have to put the boxes anywhere specific, just create a path that gets you to the disc. The second type has you moving those boxes into spaces with square outlines that act as switches. And you'll have to activate all of them in order to activate the disc, or discs. Lots of levels have multiple discs that you can use as exits. Using any of them will advance you. Before the exit is activated, you can walk over top of the disc, but you can't push boxes over it. This little detail will actually be essential in order to beat some of the stages. At the top left is the level that you're on. Each difficulty has 64 levels for a whopping total of 192 in the game. At the top right is the amount of boxes that have been used to activate switches versus how many boxes are in the level. Getting through the beginner levels isn't that tough. And once you complete all of them, there's a victory screen to congratulate and show you how many crates you removed by pushing them into the receptacles and how long it took you to get to the ending. But that's just the beginner mode. Moving on to medium mode is when you'll start to find some pretty challenging levels. Selecting medium, we're treated to stages with the same rules as the levels in beginner mode. But this time, they're gonna be much tougher. Medium mode is also our introduction to a new game mechanic. In some levels, you spawn on an impassable block. From here, you'll have to choose where to move to start tackling the puzzle. It's not always the case, but sometimes there's a specific place that you have to move in order to be able to win. You'll want to look and really consider where to move in these situations. With that said, it's here that I should probably tell you about a couple features that will help you get through things. Pressing start pauses the game, and here you have the option to either continue or restart the level. As you progress, this pause and restart cycle will become very familiar to you, since here it can be very easy to accidentally put yourself into a situation where a level isn't beatable, and not just by moving the wrong way at the start of a stage. If you find that you're really stuck with a given puzzle, there's also a way to simply skip that level and continue on with the game. Pressing select on your controller is an instant skip feature. This is why, when you complete a difficulty level, the end screen shows you how many boxes you removed. Each set of levels has a certain amount of boxes that need to be used for switches in order to complete every level. So any number lower than this means that you skipped a level. Be careful, as there's no prompt asking you to confirm. So if you accidentally hit select, you skip right away. Medium mode is difficult, but not ridiculously so. There are definitely some levels here that you'll use that restart on a lot, but the real challenge is yet to come. Advanced difficulty is the ultimate feat. So much so that tomorrow when I release my game footage, Advanced mode got its own video, which is almost 2 hours long. Selecting Advanced gets you into the most difficult levels of the game. There are a lot of tricks that the game will use to get you at this skill, but I assure you, if I can do it, you can do it. There will be plenty of stages where your first move will be vital. So take a good look at your surroundings before starting to try and solve things. The same type of levels apply as in other difficulty modes. But of course, in addition to the usual tight spaces and tough movement decisions, there are new elements introduced here that might take some getting used to. Pretty early in this level set, you'll come across stages that at first seem impossible. That's because one of the new game mechanics here involves fake bricks that only reveal paths when you walk into them. Certainly something that you'll need to keep in your head as a potential option in every stage, although it isn't in all of them. The really tough element added, though, doesn't show up until right near the end. Invisible walls. Invisible walls are exactly what you think they are. When you first encounter them, they're a bit of a pain, but no big deal, you just have to find a path to the disc. Then, they hit you with it. Several levels of having to maneuver boxes in an environment with invisible walls. Get your reset button warmed up, folks. You're gonna need it. A lot. Like I said though, you can do it. I managed to beat every level without having to skip. And according to the end screen, I did it in just under 93 minutes. Ultimate victory truly is attainable. And that's 4-Spot for the NES. So what did I think? I really liked this one. I like puzzle games in general, but I find that the genre can sometimes be hit and miss in the balance of fun versus difficulty. In this regard, I thought that 4-Spot was perfect. Beginner mode was pretty easy, as it should be. Medium mode certainly has its challenges, but you can get through it. Advanced mode can be a real struggle, and that makes total sense. Regardless of whether you think you could beat every level in this game, there's plenty here for all levels of player. I also really like the fact that each difficulty setting has 64 unique levels, and that you can easily skip them if you get stuck. It means that this game is approachable and you can see all of the content regardless of how good you are. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm sure you would too. Go check it out at the link in the description. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. I appreciate the support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.